Can proceed.
Okay, good evening all. On the slide, you can see our outline for today. So we are looking at, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you can speak up a little bit. The
Okay.
volume is up. Okay.
Okay, from the outline, we can look at what we have for this evening. Looking at what is intimacy, the state of the union, typical issue with intimacy, tip for success, foundation of our faith, and resources. Okay. So for intimacy, I'm not an expert in this topic, so it should be an interactive one so everybody can contribute to what he or she knows about intimacy. So from literal meaning, intimacy can mean deeply knowing someone, while also deeply knowing yourself, because you can't say you know someone very well without even knowing your own self. It's a mutual thing. So intimacy helps us to communicate more effectively with our spouses. It's a conscious commitment. There must be conscious commitment to it. It's just not a ritual thing. It's an act of love that goes far beyond the physical realm. It's a mental and emotional sense of well-being in a relationship. It's a deep connection we have with someone else that requires us to have a firm understanding and appreciation of our partner. So it involves a certain level of comfort in a relationship, and it seeks to meet of both partners on fundamental levels. It requires partners to be open and honest. Honest is the key word there, with one another, and relies on a couple's utmost respect for each other. So for couples, respect is the key word also. So from the chart, intimacy is not a fairy tale. It's something you must consciously work. And it's not only about sex. People think it's just about, no, it's not a gift. You must work for it. It has many branches. It's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's mental also. So when we say state of the union, we are looking at things or how we explore these intimacy issues. For example, do you and your partner spend time exploring each other's interests? It's a question only you can answer. Does the opinion of both you and your partner matter when making decisions? You just make the decision yourself? You carry him or her along? These are pertinent questions you must ask yourself. Do you and your partner support one another in your goals? Do you and your partner accept each other as you are? Do you and your partner make it a priority to communicate? Communication is very important in marriage. Do you and your partner discuss dreams, goals, and fears together? Because for a couple, if you have different dreams and different goals, then you can form a very good intimate bonds. The dreams and the goals must align together. Do you and your partner prioritize a physical relationship? Do you and your partner show one another affection regularly? Do you and your partner treat one another with respect? Do you encourage each other to maintain individuality? This is very, very important. People shouldn't change. People should be who they are. They should maintain their individuality. Are you and your partner each other's go-to when things get tough? You know, sometimes when issues come up, people find other people, brother, sister, former ex, and other to go to. But no, your spouse should be your go-to when things get tough. There should be that bond. Do you and your partner have inside jokes? Do you and your partner understand each other's non-verbal communication? Can you cut eye for your wife and or she understand what you mean by that cutting of eye? Do you and your partner make time for each other without distraction? I agree, the kids are coming, the house is rowdy, but once in a while, find time to be with each other without distractions. Do you and your partner take advantage of opportunities throughout the day to talk or spend time with one another? Yeah, we agree Lagos is rowdy, the work environment, but once in a while, do you sneak out to call your wife, call your husband, and joke? It's very, very important. If you answer yes to most of these questions, yes, you're on track. Consolidate, don't have issue. But if you answer mostly no to these questions, do not worry. It's an everyday thing. That does not mean your relationship is destined to fail. No, rarely you see a relationship perfect at all times. The questions you answered no to can serve as starting points to a conversation with your partner and can guide you to a decision about what you want your relationship to look in the future. I don't know if you're following me. Hello? Hello? So typical issues we have with intimacy. From research, percent of couples don't share intimate relationships. Most partners also have mismatched sex drive. Some like it very long, some like it short, some don't even like it at all. How do we make this discussion? How do we communicate our needs? Many couples' sexual problems stem from their difficulty discussing the subject. So we must be open to one another. We must communicate about these things. Tell them what you like, tell them what you don't like, and then find the common ground. Couples often fall into the trap of comparing their relationship and coming up short to their own age, dreamy days at the start, or to Hollywood image of passion. This idea of my ex, my ex, my ex, you can't compare your marriage or your relationship with your ex. Since you have agreed to be with somebody, then you should forego all alternatives. So comparisons also kills intimacy because you come in with a already made up mind about what the end relationship will look like. That should be discouraged. People also have different meanings to intimacy. Some feel it's when I watch cinema, when I watch movies with my wife, it's when I'm intimate. Some feel when I'm pressing my phone and pressing her phone is so people reach different meanings to the word intimacy. You prefer emotional affairs to your real life relationship. Also, depression, anxiety, also other mental illness comes up. When you're out of job and the job is too hard, it can also affect your intimacy. There's also this fear of intimacy. Some people are afraid of getting intimate with you. They always ward off. They don't like to get intimate. They're afraid. Yeah, it happens. Fear of intimacy can be a social phobia. Intimacy issues may stem from an anxiety disorder that makes it difficult to form close, intimate relationships. Many people with fear of intimacy resist close relationship, even in their own family. So it's a very big issue. In the absence of differentiation, a core orientation may develop. Each person often makes the entrenched decision about the other. They may also solidify negative beliefs about themselves. Example, I am unlovable. I don't deserve to be loved. You may find it funny, but some people feel they are unlovable. They don't even love themselves. So when you don't love yourself, how do you even love someone else? It's a big issue, and I think core belief about others is selfish, never interested in what I feel. She is so self-absorbed. All she cares is about him or herself. When you form a core stereotype about somebody, it also affects your intimacy with that person. Core decisions about the relationship. Eh, all I get is crumbs. I give and give and give and give and tell myself, I don't get nothing in returns. Even I made a mistake marrying you. People say that, yeah. That's a very bad thing to say. The person will withdraw. The minute the person will withdraw. Nagging, complaints, destroys intimacy. Core believes that inhibit the ability to pursue intimate communication. I'm too invasive. I'm too needy. I can't handle my partner's anger. This inhibits communication. Core believes that inhibit the ability to recognize intimate communication when it's present. Don't mind him. Man, it doesn't matter. I don't want to be loved. You never ever give it to me. We already have underlying issues about relationship. So how do you now form an intimate bond with someone when you think you don't matter? And you don't want to be loved. When you already have a presumed condition about yourself, then how do intimacy comes at that point? So how can you make your relationship more intimate? It's a question. Just because you feel your relationship lack intimacy, that does not mean you and your partner are doomed. No, 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 no. Building intimacy in a relationship is a process. It grows with time. Yeah, why some relationships create that connection quickly? They call it love at first sight, or I don't know. But people can be that fast when they meet or form the bond easily. Others take time. As the marriage, as the relationship goes, the bond gets thicker and better. Some say old ones, There are many things you can do to increase intimacy in your relationship, including the following. Explore your partner. Get to know what he or she loves or likes. Challenge yourself to find out more about your partner. Dig in, Google it, find out, check Facebook, man. Find the old relationships, find the S, I don't care. Know more about your partner. Make it a research purpose. You may know their favorite food and movie, but do you really know who they are at their core? In their office, when they are with their friends, do you know what they discuss? Do you know what pushed them? Discuss the big issue with them. Trump, Putin, don't bring glory in. Find out their hopes, dreams, and deeply held beliefs about anything important to them. Dig deep. Do not shy away from talking about the negative experiences too. Open it up. The more you can share with one another, the closer you become because you share the same bond. Make intimacy a priority. Don't feel it comes and goes. No, great time. Make it a priority. Learn more about your partner requires communication and time. It doesn't come that easily and cheap. It's hard to build intimacy when racing between work and errands and dealing with everyday issues. I understand that, but create uninterrupted time to practice intimacy. You must create the time, whether it be physical, emotional, or mental. Please create that time. This does not have to be restricted to a long date or weekend, but can happen all throughout the day in short bursts when possible. Call her, call him. So these are the tips for success, what you can practice to create more intimate. Listen. People don't listen, they want to talk, they want to listen. A major part of communication and learning about one another is listening. Ensure your partner knows that their thoughts and ideas are important to you. Unfortunately, in this time of smartphones and social media, we see ourselves all engrossed in our phones that we don't even listen. Even when they are talking to us, we say, everybody's pressing his or her phone. Please, that's not a good idea. Actively participate in conversations with them by asking them for details. Don't say, No, be involved. You say what? Okay, Ask for details. Let them know that you are listening. Encourage them to communicate everything on their mind. Don't shut them out. Yeah, I've heard it before. It's okay. No. Remember, what they share with you is most likely closely guarded. Listen without judgment. This is very important. Listen without judgment. And strive to be their go-to person when they need support. When your spouse sees that you are not the go-to person, they will change someone else, and that could be disastrous. Put away distractions. It's easy not to realize how often we are distracted by technology in today's world. Like I said, we tune into our favorite television shows each night, Telemundos, yeah, Big Brother Africa, Big Brother Nigeria, football. Yes, open headphones while we are exercising and spend our downtime scrolling out on social media. Yes, we all do it. All these activities force us to turn inwards and selfish and draws us into our own world. Unplug that electronic, especially when spending time alone with your partner. Instead of sitting side by side on the couch with your technology in hand, spend time actively interacting with each other. How did your work go? Talk about the job, the business, the plans. You know, be physical. Why intimacy is not the same thing as sex? Couples who are physically intimate may have an easier time connecting on a deeper level. Simple acts such as holding hands and cuddling can build a relationship of trust that is key to intimacy. Therapy. Why intimacy is not the same thing as sex? Okay, sorry. Health check. Sexual performance anxiety is one source of intimacy issues. Some health problems impact sexual performance, including diabetes, heart issues, vascular issues, neurological disorders, chronic diseases, kidney or liver failures, hormonal imbalance, substance abuse, and alcoholism. So ignoring health problems and performance problems generate more stress and anxiety over the issue, which can lead to more performance-related issue. So discuss these things. You guys need to meet a doctor. Yes. You guys need to discipline yourself. Yes. As long as intimacy did not die because of a trauma or permanent severe. Hello, can you hear me? For
Hear you
example,
now.
Yes, we can hear you.
is back. For example, if a couple suffers a terrible miscarriage, they may have a hard time being intimate because they do not want to go through a type of pain again. Yes, some things may happen and may make us feel, wow, why should I do another one? Why should I? No. Yes, in time, intimacy can be restored, but it should never be rushed or forced upon someone. This is not being intimate. So it should never be forced or rushed. Allow it. Time heals. So when we look at the foundation of our faith, what does the church say about this intimacy thing? So in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2360, it says sexuality is ordered to the conjugal love of man and woman. In marriage, the physical intimacy of the spouse becomes a sign and pledge of spiritual communion. Marriage bonds between baptized persons are sanctified by the sacrament. For those of you holy, you can see the Catechism of the Catholic Church sees it as a spiritual communion. You know what it means? It's deep, and is sanctified by the sacrament. So don't be afraid to form a bond. Catechism of the Catholic Church 2361. Sexuality, by means of which man and woman give themselves to one another through the acts which are proper and exclusive to spouses, is not something simply biological, but concerns the innermost being of the human person as such. It is realized in a truly human way only if it is an integral part of the law by which a man and woman commit themselves totally to one another until death. 2363. The spouses' union achieves the twofold end of marriage, the good of the spouse themselves and the transmission of life. You can understand the twofold, the good of the spouses themselves and the transmission of life. These two meaning or values of marriage cannot be separated without altering the couple's spiritual life and compromising the goods of marriage and the future of the family. The conjugal love of man and woman thus stands under the twofold obligation of fidelity and responsibility. So from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, you can see that these things are also sanctioned